entrepreneur from the heart, a creative rule breaker, and a serious businessman at the same time. So Philip, thank you for joining us and for breaking the rules.
Hello Luxemburg. Hello everybody. I think that's such a nice breakfast crowd, right? We could go out now and have some croissants and everything. I met nearly all of you in the morning. And I just want to enter with asking you some questions so we get to know each other a little bit better, yeah? Who of you already knows Einhorn condoms as a brand? Okay, exactly, raise hand. Oh, that's quite a lot. Who of you has had sex in their lives? This guy, you didn't? Okay. Last week? Okay, here's some other French guy, yeah, Tristan. With this name, Tristan, yeah, of course, they get laid all the time. So now we know each other pretty well, I would say. So I'm going to talk about how to unfuck the economy. And as we are such an intimate crowd, if you have questions during the talk, I think we're pretty flexible with times. So I can talk for half an hour, for 2 hours, doesn't really matter. So just, you are welcome to interrupt me, raise your hand, ask questions. You will, if the question is very good, you will win some condoms as my sign of appreciation, okay? So unfuck the economy, what does that actually mean? I downloaded this definition on Wikipedia, so it's like a scientific definition for the millennials at least. Yeah, I didn't look it up in a book. Unfuck means to correct or fix a mistake or problem. And of course it's very provocative, which works very nicely because it makes it to the headlines all the time. Like, you know this on Facebook, if there's like strange events like get rich in 2 weeks, and then you have to click attend, and it's like a shameful thing to do. It will be in your timeline. I want to become rich in 1 week, and that's or how to become the #1 marketeer of your crowd. Then it's on your Facebook page, and nobody wants this. So if you do an event, call it Unfuck the Economy, Business of the Future, and then everybody's going to be like, oh yes, I want this in my timeline, let's share this, okay? So it's a very shareable event. But what's really behind this is a story that I'm going to tell you today, and it's a story in 3 chapters of 3 acts, because I learned from Shakespeare that this is a very good way to tell a story in 3 acts. And it's about a little voyage over 2.5 years. My co-founder Waldemar, me and my team, and my fiancée, who's here today too, building a brand that is meant to save the world in a way. We're starting very small, step by step, but we're making it happen, which is, you know that, right? It's Luxemburg's new claim. What are we making happen? I will tell you in a second. So we always start with why, because we are Generation Y. So to tell you a little bit about the background, Waldemar and I were working in other startups before. We have been entrepreneurs for now like 10, 12 years. He was working for Rocket Internet. Probably know Zalando, the shoe retailer. Yes, a lot of ladies in the audience, so they all know Zalando, of course. Got that cliche right. And so he was doing this, I was doing Stickvogel, a mass customization business. We were working with Adidas and stuff, and what we both wanted was get rich very fast. And then after some time, we met and we were talking about how it is to become rich in a very short time and how this makes us feel. And actually, it didn't mean so much to us anymore. We were like 30 now, 31, and we were thinking what is actually really important. So what every good millennial does, Waldemar went on traveling the globe. He went to South America. I stayed with Stickvogel, and we thought, how can we unfuck the economy? How can we make a difference? How can we do something? And what do we actually want to do? So we figured, that's us, by the way. In West Germany, they call us Salafist. You know what that is? In Berlin, they call us hipster. So very different appearance in the different depends on where you're going. And we said if we want to get up in the morning, this would be a cool company to go to. Only when the subwoofer inhales the cat, the bass is fucking pumping. You know, this is a model you want to get up with. Yeah? There's loud music, the cat is getting soaked into the bass. So we thought this could be fun. You know, it's not about money, but maybe it's about fun. It's about something happening. It's about movement. It's action. So we said, if the biggest companies on the planet would reinvest some percent of their profits, that would be awesome. That would be a cool planet. We could unfuck the planet. We could unfuck the economy. We would have a different system. So imagine there would be companies reinvesting 50% of the profits and being transparent by doing this and doing good while they are building the company. So it's not like Bill Gates from the Giving Pledge. He's a great guy, of course, but he became 65, 70 years old, made a lot of money, big fortune, and now he's like, white man goes to Africa, like spending the money. Thank you guys. Such a cool guy. But why didn't he do it while building the company? He could have started a movement of young people and old people and everybody and built Microsoft into a fair and sustainable company while building it. It's much easier to find people to work for you because it's not for my Porsche or Ferrari or whatever, but it's to make the world a better place, to really make an impact on the environment. We said if that would happen, if this would be a company you could build, we would definitely be up for the game. We would like to work for this kind of company. So we said, if that doesn't happen now, if there's nothing that does that, there's the Giving Pledge, so you give back the money when you're old. And now we started the Entrepreneur's Pledge. The Entrepreneur's Pledge is you start the company, you already built a successful company before, and now you know how to build teaching them that is much harder than teaching the business side how to give back. Because the business people, they see the impact of what it means to give back immediately, because it's much easier to build a business when you give back, because more people want to work for you, and you can you pay less taxes, so there's a lot of upsides actually on doing good. Yeah, so we built the Entrepreneur's Pledge, Waldemar and I, we are in the Vorstand too, and we are 100 people now, and we have some very famous people in the Entrepreneur's Pledge, like the founder of Trivago. You probably know. It's a unicorn business from Germany, and they evaluated with more than €1 billion in worth. We have the Helpling founders, My Muesli, Amorelie. So there's a lot of famous startups from Germany joined that Entrepreneur's Pledge, and they all want to build a fair and sustainable company in the future and reinvest 50% of the profits. So I think this could make a great difference. But what happened then, of course, is we said we have to keep the entrance level very low. So you have to be a successful entrepreneur. But if you're not starting right now, that's okay. So you just sign, and then you promise, with your blood of course, you promise to do this in the future. So nobody started. It's of course bad, if you have this great movement with all those fancy pictures on the website and nobody does anything, you're basically fucked. If nobody's starting to unfuck the economy, so we said, okay, we're gonna do the first move, and we're gonna start with the Einhorn condom company and build the first Entrepreneur's Pledge company. So we quit our jobs and we started this business. Shit. And so we had to be smart about it. Sometimes it's very good to not have too much money because you get very creative. Of course, I have to say that now. But so we said it could be very good to build a brand, because building a brand can be very cheap. You need to be very authentic and put a lot of heart into it, but you can build a brand that represents yourself and something that young people will like very much. And we will tell the story of the brand, like what's happening. And we call this concept brand story, brand story, brand story, brand story. You get it? Very smart people in Luxemburg. So this brand story is built on some core values, and it's 3 core values. The first one is unique. I will tell you a little story about this. So core values, I think, are one of the most important things for businesses. If your core values don't make any sense or any impact, then everybody will forget about them. and then it's not really core values because they're not carried in the core, they're just forgotten. You learn them and then you forget about them, so it's not really something that matters. So when we made the core values, we said they have to really mean something. You can't, like, a lot of companies, they write on the wall like efficient, quality, effective, fast, always on time. It's like you can exchange this with any company in the world. Everybody would like to say this about themselves. Put love in every detail, blah 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 blah. It's all blah blah blah. So our first core value is unique. Unique means einhornzigartig. That means everything we do has to be unique in a way, and a little bit einhorny. You know, so it's kind of a mixture. And what happened to us was, when we first built the company, we made a lot of mistakes. That's what entrepreneurs do all the time, and then you learn very much. So it's very good. Making mistakes, of course, everybody thinks making mistakes is very bad, but actually it's very good. Because when you make a mistake, you feel a little pain in your head, and you learn, and your brain moves. Because you're not a dinosaur, you're a human being, so your brain moves and it learns, and then it transforms, and then you can do something new, and then you won't do this mistake again. So this failure culture, everybody's talking about it, but you really have to do it. Like if somebody comes, some employee, somebody working in a team and says, you know, I want to try this, and I think it could fail, you have to say, oh yes, do it. And if you fail, tell us all about it, okay? So we were very impatient and very quick, and we wanted to change the condom industry, and we thought that's going to be very easy. So we had a funny idea. We wrote on the back of the bag, there's like an ingredients table, like a table of contents, you know, like on a chips bag. And it says Mehrwerttabelle, and then it says 7 condoms up to 21 orgasms. So we thought that's very smart. It's like a calculation. Calculation is very easy. Women can have multiple orgasms, we all know that. Men are supposed to give women multiple orgasms. So a woman comes twice, a man comes once. It's 2 plus 1 is 3. 7 condoms in the bag, 7 times 3, 21. We call this Einhorny sex. Actually, that makes perfect sense to me, but our competitor, he didn't like it that much, and he apparently doesn't know about this little female secret. So he never had that, so he said, you are implying multiple use. You are a hazard to public health. Okay, we don't know, that's probably very bad. So he sued us, and he subpoenaed us. So we couldn't, it's subpoenaed, right? Einstweilige Verfügung. We weren't allowed to sell anymore. It was forbidden. The forbidden condom, and 3 days after he got this, we couldn't sell anymore, we were on national TV in Germany in Die Höhle der Löwen. You know this show? So we were sitting in the conference room, and we were like, we will probably make 50K on that day when we're on TV, but we can't sell. What are we going to do? So we invited some friends, and we put some beer there. And then we took the bags, and then we took a black pen, and we put away the orgasms, and we did this with 10,000 bags. And this seems to have been one of those. So the good thing about it was very cheap. So we rented this car. We asked somebody from the street who we knew was like a funny musician, Stephen Paul Taylor. He's famous on YouTube. And we put him on the truck, and he was singing, and we were doing the talk. And we spent 2 hours there, and we had some beer, and then the whole team was enjoying it very much. And then we made it into the biggest German yellow press, of course, on the front page. It means like man multiple orgasm metal. And this went into the DPA article, and then it made it to the New York Times. Really, because of this because somebody sued us. I mean, that's crazy, right? That's how it began. With the competition suing us. So this core value is called unique. So every time we do something, we always think, is it unique? Is it really something that our heart is beating for? Will it pull us into a drag to really we will run to work every day or fly? Because we are so excited about making this happen, and the protest protest was one of those things. So, second core value and most important one is fair sustainable. And fair sustainable means fair and sustainable. But we took the sus away, so it's one word now, fair sustainable, that's unique. And now it's going to be in the dictionary soon, I hope. It means everything we do is supposed to be fair and sustainable, and most importantly, transparent. Because Generation Y and the millennials, they are very, very good in asking questions. They always ask why. Probably that's why they're called Generation Y. If you put bio on something and you write it in green letters, somebody 50 plus will think it's probably biological. It's not because they are used to believe in print. Somebody who's 21 will say, is this real? Where's this coming from? Where's this little thing? Where's this actually going? Is it vegan? What does bio mean anyway? If it's vegan, it's not bio. So it's very complex. It's not just about like producing in like fair wage countries, but it's like what pesticides do you use? What region is it coming from? Where has it been flown into the country, like mangoes or something? So the word doesn't cut it anymore. What the new generation really wants is full transparency. They want to know what is it all about. So what we do is we Insta story everything. So we have like a live feed to our customer base and to our friends and fans and protest base. And we live stream everything we do all the time. That's what we say is brand story. So everything we do should be worth telling a story about it, because it should be unique. And so we're going to talk about it. That makes it very transparent, and we try to improve. So when we started with fair sustainability, we said buying some logo and being certified like I don't know, FTC or WWF, or there's so many logos that you can that you buy, and then you get those. The people come and then they audit you and everything, and they are doing a good job. But what you really want to do is build a fair and sustainable company from the ground and try to go into every process. So what we did, our first hire was a designer, because we said brand is very important. Our second hire was a head of fair sustainability. So we didn't hire anybody for sales or for making the product happen, but for making the product fair and sustainable. And this is 4 people now in the fair sustainability unit, and they're on the plantation all the time, talking to the workers and trying to solve a real problem, because there's no fair and sustainable latex on this planet yet, even though it's like palm oil. Fair sustainable, very important. You can do all this unfuck thing and do a lot of crazy bullshit stuff if you have a very serious backbone. Fair sustainability is this backbone, green leaves and always looks good. We call it greenwashing also. This is like how this works. We're very lucky with the condom, because it's made out of one ingredient basically. Most, like 99% of the condom is latex. So if we go to other products now, it's going to be much more complicated. But that was a very good way to test it, how this actually works. And the third core value is called fuck. And it means fight and hug. And it's about going into fights if they are about the mission. And they are not supposed to be about your ego, but they're supposed to be about the mission. This is very hard. We still didn't figure out how to do this properly. We were fighting Waldemar. This is Waldemar, the ugly guy. No, the smart one is Waldemar, and I'm the engineer, we were fighting so hard in the beginning that we actually had to go to a coach. Like, couples therapy? Something like this we had to do, because we were thinking about if we even wanted to do the company together. And then she found out that we have the same goals, so she said, your mission is the same, your goals are the same, so just figure out a way to sit next to each other, and then maybe you can have a really great time together. That's what we're still working on. It's very hard. And we had a time when, after this couples therapy, we felt very confident. So we said, that was so funny, all those fights, why don't we make a TV show out of it? So everybody would be like, why would you do that? It has nothing to do with condoms. Exactly. Because nobody cares for condoms. Condoms are an unwanted product. Nobody cares for condoms. If you wouldn't have to use them, you just wouldn't buy them anymore. So we try to not talk about condoms so much, but about many other things. So we make kind of the Office for Startups show, where Waldemar and I fight, and we decide to hire a CEO. Because it would be very helpful to have like a CEO who would like be kind of the loop between Waldemar and me, and do all the stuff so we wouldn't have to cope with each other anymore. It doesn't have subtitles and it's in German. You still want to see like a 1-minute clip out of it? Yes, affirmative. Okay. This is called Einhorn TV. Einhorn. Ich bin Berlins Bart.
Keine sustainable Art miteinander umzugehen, sorry. Es macht keinen Spaß momentan. Skalierung. Deswegen sind wir auf der Suche nach einem CEO. Die geben sich wirklich die Creme der Startup-Szene, die Klinke in die Hand.
Wo sind wir gerade?
Nehmt euch ruhig auch ein.
Das ist von der Frau ganz ziemlich.
Das ist ja ekelhaft.
Aber meine Mutter lässt mir nur aus dem Spiel.
Wir suchen hier keinen Pornodarsteller.
Deswegen dachte ich vielleicht heute Abend alle zusammen ein cooles Feierabendbier mit ein paar Kästen und sowas, ne?
Ist ganz alleine im Büro.
And make magic happen.
Your sound system really works very well, I must say. This is nice. So, unique, fair, sustainable, fuck. Got it? Core values. Brand story. Why we do it? How we do it? What we do. Chapter 3. Condoms are a very stupid product. I already gave you like a spoiler on this. Nobody really likes condoms, and even worse, nobody likes biological products. Like, sustainable products are a pain in the ass, very often. Not all of them, but many of them. We buy a kilo of coffee, it's fair and sustainable, it's 50% more expensive, tastes not that great. Actually, it tastes pretty bad. The chocolate, it's fair and sustainable. It doesn't look that nice. It's very hard. It doesn't melt that nice. No sugar. It's not very nice chocolate. A t-shirt, fair and sustainable t-shirt. It itches. It's not really cool print. The cut is not so nice. Very expensive. But you know, we buy it for the cause. Because we want to give back. And then, that's what I thought is like, it's irrational. If people want to do a good thing, and they buy a product and they pay more for it, and then they get a product that is worse than the unfair product, then this is fucked up. You know, we have to unfuck this. There's a problem. Because, like, if we think about ourselves, how we consume products, we want to have the best product. It would be cool if it would be fair. We would be happy to spend more, but we want the best product. And I get that, because it's the customer who makes the decision, and you make the vote every day with spending money for stuff. And if the products are worse, you won't buy them. So we have to find a way to make Captain Haddock happy again, and make fair products great again. God. So rule number 1, don't fuck your customer. If you sell them something, they're taking photos. Don't fuck your customer. Ah, good. Don't fuck your customer. So, because if you do this once, and they think it's like, okay, we did it for the good cause, so it's okay. But would you buy this a second time? I mean, this kind of self-hate that you must feel. Yeah, I'm spending more, and it really doesn't taste that good. But you know, I want to save the world. Maybe then better don't consume anything. And then very important, if you try to like get over to your customer, then tell the real story. I mean, if you do this coffee that doesn't taste really good, and then you tell a beautiful story how you helped all those little children, and now they have water supply. But the coffee still tastes like shit. Nobody cares. And if the story is not true, it's even worse. Then you're telling a lie to your customer, and they will hate you. They will never love you. So, no artificial story, no fake story, no. Okay, got it? Good. So now interaction starts. What is this? This is a car. Voiture, right? Normally the women in the audience say it's white. Sure, this happened to me. So you don't know this joke that if you ask somebody like, what car was it? Yeah, a white one. And yeah. So it's a white BMW, that's true. What do we have here? Yes, it's white, I know. Yes. It's a Tesla, exactly. And is this also a car? No. No, it's not. It's a smartphone on wheels. It's a very different approach, you know? Like BMW and Mercedes, they're trying to build electric cars. They look like, they look really weird. They don't look like a car for 65,000 euros. You can buy a much nicer car for the same money. It won't be like electric and sustainable, but it will look cool. And the thing about cars is people care how they look. So Tesla thought of it from a totally different angle because Tesla didn't know how to build cars when they started. They didn't have like a 180-year-old tradition of blah blah blah. And like Henry Ford once said, if you would ask the customer what they want, they would say faster horses. So if you ask BMW what they want, they say electric cars. If you ask Elon Musk, he will say we need a smartphone on wheels. So they took all this technology and it only took them like 3-5 years to build a car that accelerates much faster than any Porsche. It's crazy. It has a range of 500 kilometers, I think. And I mean, I think it doesn't look that appealing, but it has some very smart features, and it's a serious car. It's not like the shit version of a normal car, but it's a really posh version of a normal car that is actually much faster. So this is something that you can compare. So you're not fucking your customer, no, you're giving them something great. Now everybody who comes in Tesla, they say, wow, cool, can I take a ride with you? That's normally not happening with electric car. Oh cool, can I ride you a very small, looking like a bubblegum car? Please, can you take me, but park around the corner, okay? I don't want to be seen in the stomach. Okay, so from the condom thing, we thought condoms have a big problem. In the supermarket, normally they have like between tampons, toilet paper, dog food, so the sexy section, you know? You go there, it's all the sexy stuff. Oh, toilet paper, dog food, tampons, oh nice, weekend's coming, and then condoms. So we said, what does everybody actually like? Chips and fries. So how do you wrap a condom? Chips bags. Done. Yes? Got it? So to show you how this actually looks, I brought you some. And you maybe know this from YouTube. On YouTube there's like this thing called, it's a live unboxing or a product haul. And yeah, Ricardo, you got it. Ricardo, good man. So on YouTube they do this unboxing. Yeah? They take some product and then they unbox it. So in retail, it's very strange. Like we needed this box when we actually planned on only selling online. Then we found out it's very hard to sell condoms online. So then we were on TV a lot. So a lot of people called us and said, can we sell this in our store? And we were like, well, why not? And then they wanted a different price, of course. We didn't know about this, like a little bit. Suddenly big stores were calling us. In Luxemburg we have 10 stores, right? Selling us, starting on Tuesday. So we had to build something for the stores to present the bags. So I looked at all the boxes with Liz. Actually, we were in the supermarket, always jumping into the paper trash, getting out all those boxes, and they all looked very boring. So we said we need to make something fun. So we made this dinosaur. I take this out. Can you open it? Here's a little thing. This is the dinosaur special. It's so beautiful that you can use it as a gift wrapping at the same time. And for the supermarket you have 10 bags of condoms inside. And for the customer we ship it as a dinosaur special. And there you have like I think 9 bags, but you have a lot of special stuff. For example, we have a penis and a pussy stamp. It's very important for your tax declaration, for example. You just put some stamps on it. And where's the other one? Here's the penis. I would have this here, this is inside. Then we have a fuck vegan badge, because the condoms are vegan. So you can have vegan sex now, so fuck vegan. People who eat a lot of meat think that's very funny. Fuck vegan because they don't like vegans, but no. They didn't fully understand. Then we have a postcard of this. Then we have a postcard that is very cute. Can you see? No. It's a little animal, and he says, "Ich hab dich lieb," which means like I love you very much. Then we have one that says, "Wanna make out?" You can answer with yes or no. Very straight. Then we have a voucher. Go eat ice cream or massage Lumi or something like that. Yes, this put across. Then we have stickers. People love stickers. You knew this? Yes. Stickers are very popular, so why nobody puts stickers? We have flying balls, flying boots, sperm, a unidove. That's very popular stickers, you know, stuff you need. Then we have tattoos. They are not inside this normally, but I put them in for you so you can take them home. It's couples tattoos, and we call it things looking better together. It's like a rocket in space. So one gets the space, one gets the rocket, so they are better together. It is cute. Yeah. And then we have a certificate of honor. Because you know, our customers are very smart. Because they chose to buy our product. You know, our product is very good. It's the best condom. And it's sustainable and it looks awesome. So the customers, they made a great choice. And we want to congratulate them. So we give them this certificate of honor. It says, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's something top secret. It says, the first unicorn porn. Oh my God, what would that be? It sounds horrible. But it makes it very curious, right? Who wants to see the unicorn porn? Raise their hands. Nobody. Of course. I'll see you online. And it says, certificate of honor, you make magic happen. You want it fair, you want it sustainable. Every unicorn wants to go to bed with you. Congratulations, Waldemar and Philip. So we have this. And then on the inside we have 10 bags of unicorn condoms wrapped in chips bags. There's 20 different designs from 20 different artists. And on the back we have this Mehrwerttabelle where it said the orgasm thing. It's still like cleared out. It says calories burned during 30 minutes of active sex, 350,000. It's very good. It's a workout, you know. And it says here, it's very important, if you're allergic, it can contain traces of fairy dust. You know, if you're allergic to fairy dust. This happened actually at an ISO meeting. Somebody from the competitors, they stood up to Elisa, who works in sustainability at Einhorn, and they said, you know, what is this with the fairy dust? Is there really fairy dust in the condoms? She was like, what? Yeah, is it true now what you write on your back? Fairy dust. She's like, That's ridiculous, right? He's like, so you're lying. So it's fake news. Fake news. This is how the world economy works. It's like, well, we thought it's very funny. He didn't sue us yet, but we're excited to protest for the fairy dust in the condoms. Are you coming? Yeah, if we do the fairy dust thing, yes, you'll get an invitation. I'm looking forward. This will be awesome. We'll get Julia Roberts to come there. She's the main fairy dust fairy, right? It will be fantastic. Okay, so to open them, you don't tear them open, you bang them open, because you want to bang, right? Then you can start banging. Then there's the instructions manual inside, of course. Normally that's very boring. It says something like, oh, don't get AIDS. And ours is about hedgehogs and anal sex. So inside we have, hedgehogs are very dangerous for condoms. You have to keep them away from them, It's not a very good combination. It's not safe. So inside we have 7 condoms, 14 grams. And we figured out that there's 3 moments in the life of a condom. First is you buy it in the supermarket. It's embarrassing. It takes people less than 1 second to decide for this. So they go to the poop, the sexy section. They take the condom, then they go. You don't even have time to choose one. You sneak out. They put something on top of it because you don't want anybody to see what you're buying. What was the price of the condoms again? It's extra large. Yeah, that's what happens. So it's very embarrassing. Now you have chips bags. Everybody knows those chips bags now. So actually, people know now it's condoms, but they know it's the cool condoms. So you can get a date in the supermarket now buying condoms, making it happen. And then you go home. And with a normal box of condoms, you take them, and then you take them out of the box, you trash the box, and you put them in the sock drawer. So you hide them. Those condoms, grandma can come for dinner. Doesn't matter. She won't notice. Okay, so you're safe. So now the magic is gonna happen, yeah? You wanna make magic happen, so in the bedroom, also in the bathroom maybe, also on the kitchen table, wherever magic happens, you take out the unicorn condom, you bang open the thing, and then you have this, condom, we have to use a condom, and we thought now you have to put it on, so this is kind of a dangerous moment, thin ice, so we thought it would be good to have like a funny thing, you could say, so we put fortune cookies on the bed. So now they say like, there are many pleasures ahead of you, or don't forget foreplay, it's very important to reach the 21 orgasms, definitely foreplay. Or here's one for Luxemburg, you will inherit some money or a small piece of land. But that will give you an immediate erection, right? So, and you can throw them at people, it works very well in dating. Definitely try this out. Throw a condom at everybody will know what you're planning to do. Okay, I will leave them here, and they are free of charge. So when the talk is finished, or even maybe in between the talk, I don't know how brave you are, you can come forward and steal all of the stuff that's lying around, okay? Yeah? Don't be ashamed, it's unicorn condoms, that's it. So there was Einhorn live unboxing. That's important. Everybody, that's another thing for unicorn uniqueness. Everybody writes their website somewhere. Do you know this? Like when you write, people think, I have a website, I want the customer to go there because my company is very important, so I write the website, and then nobody goes to the website. And then they're like, why does nobody go to my website? www something.de. Nobody's going there. But there's so much information on it. Why don't people go there? Because nobody cares for your website. You have to be honest, like nobody cares for you. Nobody. You have to make it interesting. The customer, he wants to be like, has to be something happening. So on the back of the condoms we have a web address, and we added some stuff like einhorn.my/MILF. You know what a MILF is? It's a mom I'd like to fuck. It's a terrible. A lot of people know what this means actually, so they want to find out what's going on there. What is happening? What's happening? The slash mid or the oh my god, and then they have top 10 sex positions. People want to know what are the top 10 sex positions, you know? There's a value for the customer behind the link. Actually, there's a funny text, and we say we are making a screenshot of you right now, and we'll send it to your husband. So, no, but you will find out what's behind the link soon, probably. Yes. How much time do we have left? Are we still 10 minutes? That's perfect. Okay. So I want to show you the crowdfunding video. Has anybody ever seen it? RTL has seen it? Yeah? You have seen it? So, but no? Okay, that's good. It has subtitles, and you all know what crowdfunding is, right? There's two different versions of crowdfunding. There's one where you sell shares of your company to people who have no idea. So that's a very bad way of crowdfunding, I think. So you sell your company to business peasants. They don't have a clue about business. They want to own some parts of it. Then you have a meeting with 2,000 shareholders, and they all don't really know about it. That's very dangerous. So you better take a real VC because they know what they're doing. Or there's the crowdfunding where you do a pre-sale of your product. So you tell the customer what you want to do, and then you tell them, want to buy it? And if they say yes, they can give you the money. And then you ship them the product in 6 months. So you don't give away any shares from your business, you keep it all, and you get a free research phase, because if people don't buy it, something is wrong. Okay? It won't work in the future. If you get the money for the product, but people won't buy it, you can produce it, nobody's gonna buy it, it's gonna be trash. So it's very interesting to find out, because you all know it, you have an idea, you tell your friends, and they all say, well, it's a great idea, you should definitely do this. Because it's not their risk. I mean, if you fail, they don't fail. But if you ask them if they would buy contents from you, and you ship them in 6 months, and it's 35 euros. Want to buy some? And they say yes, then you know maybe it's really a good idea, because they are willing to pay. Yes, just saying yes, very easy. 35 euros, not that easy anymore. And you need more than one friend, of course, to support you, because you need more money most of the time. So I will show you the crowdfunding video, and I have to open it on the desktop, right? This is no problem.
Hi, wir wollen das beste Kondom der Welt herstellen.
It's only here, right? I can put it over. Don't look at it, now you can look, okay?
Hi, wir wollen das beste Kondom der Welt herstellen.
Aber was macht deine Kondome so besonders?
500 Geschmacksrichtungen.
100% Wasserdicht.
100% Orgasmusgarantie.
9000 Größen. Oder Maßgeschneidert.
Ökologisch korrekte Verpackung. Für Einhorn ein Muss.
Mein Lieblingsgeschmack? Einhorn Single Malt. On the rocks.
Warum wir Experten für Kondome sind? Wir haben ein Buch darüber gelesen.
Jetzt mal ehrlich. Wer glaubt denn noch den ganzen Werbequatsch?
In Wirklichkeit sieht es doch so aus.
Kondome kaufen ist einfach peinlich. Ihr kennt das alle. Man ist im Supermarkt und findet sie irgendwo zwischen Binden, Tampons, Windeln und Schwangerschaftstests. Very sexy. Deshalb wollen wir Einhorn-Kondome anonym und einfach im Internet anbieten. Kondome sind teuer. Verdammt teuer. Kondome kosten in der Herstellung unter 10 Cent, werden aber in Deutschland für bis zu 2 Euro das Stück verkauft. Was soll das? Einhorn fühlt sich verantwortlich und deshalb werden wir 50% der Profite in gemeinnützige Projekte investieren, zum Beispiel Sexualaufklärung für Jugendliche.
Kondome sind ein Lustkiller. Allein das Öffnen der Verpackung nervt einfach. Einhorns Ziel ist es, Kondome nutzerfreundlich, ökologisch und sexy zu verpacken. Aber vor allem der Inhalt zählt. Unsere Kondome sind von Profis designt und beschränken sich auf die wichtigsten Features.
Okay, check, das ist die Pflicht. Aber wir wollen mit euch die Kühe.
Wir sind für euch an die Quelle gereist. Malaysia ist einer der größten Naturkautschuk-Produzenten der Welt. Kuala Kecil im Norden des Landes ist außerdem die Wahlheimat des Kondomurgesteins Klaus Richter. In der Fabrik von Richter Rubber werden pro Jahr 1,5 Milliarde Kondome hergestellt.
Hier wird demnächst das erste Einhorn-Kondom sustainable vom Band rollen.
Weil Klaus gerne alles unter Kontrolle hat, baut er die Maschinen selbst nach deutschen Standards. Das bedeutet, Sicherheit steht an erster Stelle. Alle Kondome werden einzeln getestet. Gar nicht so einfach, wie es aussieht. Im Klaus haben wir einen echten Geistesbruder gefunden. Er ist einer der wenigen Kondomhersteller, dem Natur und Nachhaltigkeit nicht nur auf dem Papier wichtig sind.
Es ist die Frage, wie die nächsten Generationen weiterleben können. Und das geht eben nur mit Nachhaltigkeit. Und das auf die Produktion zu übertragen von Latex, ich denke, das ist möglich.
Doch woher kommt eigentlich die Latexmilch? Zum Beispiel von einer Kautschukplantage wie dieser.
Also Waldemar zapft jetzt das erste eigene Latex. Das ist ganz schön schwierig anscheinend. Und wenn man zu tief schneidet, dann verletzt man den Baum nur.
Oh, da kommt keine Milch raus, Philipp. Aus dieser Milch werden also Kondome hergestellt. Das wollen wir ändern. Und dazu brauchen wir euch. Mit eurer Kaufentscheidung können wir eine Kautschuk-Kooperative in Malaysia gründen, die Bauern fair entlohnen und gemeinsam mit einer deutschen Uni nachhaltigen Kautschukanbau in der Region etablieren. Keine Chance für Greenwashing.
Alles, was ihr dafür tun müsst, ist Wiegen und Sex haben. Gerne auch ein bisschen mehr. Natürlich mit Einhorn-Kondom. Kauft jetzt euren 100 Gramm Jahresvorrat oder spendet für eine gute Sache.
Glaubt ihr an Einhörner?
Dann geht mit uns auf Einhorn fragen. Yeah, we raised more than 100,000. I have to go back to the presentation. More than 100,000 euros in the pre-selling of condoms, which is crazy because you can buy condoms everywhere, you know. You don't need to pre-order them somewhere. So it was a very good test for us, and we had the money to start the company actually, and to hire our crew. And this is how Einhorn actually started. And it got we got pretty famous through the crowdfunding because there was a crazy video and stuff. That's a big experience that I can share with you is if you do something very different and you're not afraid to make a fool out of yourself, people will respect that a lot. And if you make a fool of yourself and people don't respect it, they won't share it, so nobody will see it anyway. And if you get very famous by making a fool out of yourself, everybody will think it's very funny and then they will share it a lot, so then you will have a good impression. We have 5 minutes left? Yeah? We do? Okay, so no. Okay, what I wanted to tell you, of course we do a condom, but we don't really, the condom is not the stuff we talk so much about. And to change the world, the condom won't be enough. So we spend a lot of our time thinking about how the future looks and how we want to work and how others will probably want to work. So we focus a lot on how it is working together, and we establish some rules at Einhorn that are pretty new. Out what they put in, because then it's a very satisfying job. It's not actually a job, it's like a mission that you get on every day, and it's a lot more fun to work for a company where you get out what you put in, because you can't get out what you put in cash, because it's your life. It's the time that you are spending in your life that you put in the company, and you're getting money for it. So that's probably not the right value. So you better have some fun doing this. So this is us in Malaysia.
we took the whole team to the plantation. Everybody learned how to do rubber tapping. They met the crew on the plantation. They saw how the workers live, how they work, what they eat, and we tried to find out what they really need to improve their situation, how we can help them to use less pesticides and this kind of stuff. This is a technique we use. It's called pull instead of push. So we don't have that much time anymore, but it's like if you stir a bucket and you get a whirl inside, like a tornado. It's pulling people in, like the protest at Brandenburg Gate. Everybody wanted to work on this. Everybody was running to be a part. So we granted everybody as much holiday as they want in the company. So if you don't feel like coming to work, you just don't show up. You write, I was drinking yesterday night, I'm hungover, I'm not coming today. It's cool. It's enough as an excuse. But if you use a pull instead of push, work is going to be so interesting that everybody is going to be scared to miss out on something. So people are really coming in, and if you're on holiday for 2 weeks, you're coming back and you're like, what did I miss? What happened? What did you do? Holiday is, you have as much holiday as you want. If you don't feel like coming to work, you don't have to show up. It's a rule I made for myself, because it's very annoying to work with people who don't want to be where they are. So if you're in a meeting with someone whose grandmother just died, and they couldn't take the day off, but they are actually in pain and they want to be at home, you should just let them go probably, and they will come back 3 days later and they will be fine again, and it's going to be cool.